Multiply and divide integers, packet page 3. We're still on the same focus question, how are multiplication and addition related? Pretty good here with, so here is page 3, and it says, I can create rules for multiplying integers. Each box below is labeled with a Roman numeral. So we have box 1, 2, 3, 4. Complete boxes 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the table to show how groups of balloons and sandbags affect the player's score in the hot air balloon game. Example, 3 groups of 3 would raise you to a height of 9. 7 groups of 2 sandbags would mean 7 groups, sandbags of -2, sandbags are negative. 7 groups of 2 sandbags would lower you 14. So let's take those examples and let's see if we can start filling in this box, this grid. All right, so first of all, let's start here by explaining. This is the number of groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over here, they're not numbered, but if this is 0, right here, we know this has to be a negative group. All of these have to be negatives. So yours should be filled out with negatives. So a negative group means removing a group. Negative means to remove a group. So all of these right here would just kind of mean remove a group. That's what the minus means, remove a group. These are all add a group, positives. Okay, so number of groups, and then one other thing to label is up or positive. These would be balloons. So we could write balloons. I'll just write a capital B. Those are balloons. And then below 0, these are sandbags. These are sandbags because they're negative, so sandbags. All right, so now we can move on out. So if we add one group of 1 balloon, so 1 times 1 would give us 1. If we add 1 group of 2 balloons, that would be 2. 1 group of 3 would be 3. 1 group of 4 would be 4. 1 group of 5 would be 5. And you can see the pattern, can't you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, let's do a pattern to the right. Let's look at the 2's here. 1 group of 2 is 2. What about 2 groups of 2? 2 groups of 2 is 4. 3 groups of 2 is 6. 4 groups of 2 is 8. 5 groups of 2 is 10. So you can see your pattern here. You're skip counting or repeating addition. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Up, it's just skip counting or adding 1. Let's do one more example. Let's do the 5's up on top. 1 group of 5 would be 5. 2 groups of 5 would be 10. 15, 20, 25. All right, so if we add 5 groups of 5 balloons, we would go up 25, positive. All of these numbers are positive because we're multiplying a positive number of groups by a positive number of balloons. So when we multiply a positive factor times a positive factor, we will always have positive numbers. So I'm just going to write a big positive here. All of these numbers will be positive. So you need to fill something in here. What do the products in the box represent? The products are all positive. The products in the box represent moving up, positive, going up because you're adding balloons. So what do the products in the box represent? They represent the balloon moving up. Balloon moving up. They are positive numbers or positive products. All right, let's go to the second box. So now we're going to be looking at something a little different. We're going to be removing groups of balloons. Removing groups of balloons. Let's just do the fives, since those are the biggest. Let's start off by saying, what if I remove 5 groups of 5 balloons? If I remove 5 groups of 5 balloons, it's going to have to be a negative because we're going down. The negative sign means you're going down. So 5 groups of 5 balloons, you're going down. 5 groups of 4 balloons, you're going down. So I'm going down by intervals of 5. Or we could have started at the bottom when we said 5 groups of 1 balloon. That'd be -5, -10, -15, -20. And you would do that with all your numbers. Maybe we should do the ones. One group of -1 is -1. Two groups, removing 2 groups of 1 balloon would be -2. Removing 3 groups of 1 balloons is -3, -4. And you can see the pattern. And specifically, we should know that all of the numbers, all of the products in box 2 will be negative numbers because you're going down. That's why they all have negative signs. So what do the products in the box represent? They represent negative numbers, which means the balloon is going down. So negative numbers, the balloon is going down. Let's look at box 3. Now we're going to be removing sandbags. These are sandbags. They're negative. Let's do the 5s again. What if I remove 5 groups of 1 sandbag? 5 groups of 1 sandbag would be 5. Why is it positive? Because you're going up. The balloon would go up if you're removing a sandbag. 5 groups of 2 sandbags would be 10. 3 would be 15, 20, 25. So what about these? These are all positive products. Positive, because when you remove groups of sandbags, the balloon must go up. It will go up. One more box to go. Now we're going to be adding groups of sandbags. Well, let's do the 5s. If we add 5 groups of 1 sandbag, 5 groups of 1 sandbag, we go down -5. If we add 5 groups of -2 sandbags, -10. And the pattern keeps coming back. So why is this one -25? Think about it. If you add 5 groups of 5 sandbags, you'll go down 25. So that means all of the products in box 4 have to be negative because you're adding sandbags. So you're going down. So if I just go like this and make you remember down, that means negative. Up. The balloon's going up, that's positive. Down, that's negative. And you'll fill in the lines of it. I'm just doing this quick. So I'm hoping this makes more sense to you. And then at the bottom, it says, what rule or pattern have you noticed for each box? Well, box 1, when you multiply a positive factor and another positive, you get a positive product. Way too wordy, Mr. Kruger. Way too wordy. Let's erase all that. Let's make it easy. Let's make it easy for these guys. Let's just do this. If you have a positive number multiplied by another positive number, you will always have a positive. If you multiply a negative factor times a positive factor, you will always have a negative product. If you multiply a negative factor times a negative factor, you will have a positive product. And last, if you multiply a positive times a negative, you will have a, I need to have that one as a beautiful red. You will have a negative. And that's what the boxes are showing, and I want you to understand what that means in terms of the balloon. See me if you need more help, but I think you should be well on your way.